Interview a very special person who does poetry, and she goes by the name of Tionic. So Tionic, what got you into poetry and what made you want to start doing poetry?
That's a very good question. I think my journey with poetry has started in 2020. It was because of healing.
Yeah.
So I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I do different things. I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm an actress. But poetry was something that, just kind of came to me. I was walking. I went to physiotherapy, got a little massage, and I was walking on the streets, cold streets of South Bank, and I was just having this poetic thought. And then I literally went into the shop, got a book, got a pen, started writing outside the National Theatre. 8 pages later, boom.
Boom, that's it.
I closed the book and I was like, what just happened? So I think that's where my poetry journey started, and since then it's been a way to really process my thoughts and access my healing. So that's been
Is there any challenges that you face from poetry? Like, what's the challenge that you face?
I think patience, because I try to not put parameters when I write. I try to keep this free flowing, things coming to me. If something happens, I take time to process and then I write it. But sometimes you can become impatient with yourself and you wanna, haven't I written in like 2 weeks, or why haven't I written in a few months? And the thing with poetry is, especially for me, it comes from within, and when the piece is ready, it's ready. And I think patience is something that we all struggle with in any areas. But I think when it comes to creative arts, we can be so harsh on ourselves and impatient with ourselves. So I think patience is something that I've always
fighted with, but
I also try to give grace.
So what's your one advice would you give to somebody that wants to get into spoken word? Like, what's the one kind of advice that you give?
I would say find your rhythm and find your formula and what works for you. And go with that. And I would say find your own pace. Because this is your words, your journey, and poetry is very vulnerable. You're being very vulnerable. You're saying things that you might only disclose to yourself. So everyone has a different journey when it comes to poetry. Your words will always be enough because they're yours and they come from a true, like from your truth. So if that's where you start from yourself, that's the most important thing. Because if we get into let me write a poem about yellow, and then you try to perform to other people, or you're trying to put these expectations, it's not going to be you.
You're right.
So go back to yourself, find your formula, whatever works for you works.
You're right.
Every poet is different, and that's the beauty of it, because if we all wrote poetry the same way, we'll be just listening to the same verse.
You're right. Boom! So where can I like that one. So where can they find all your works on your Instagram? What's your Instagram and
you can find me on Instagram, on Tionix. So it's TEONIX _creative, because I'm a full-time Phoenix. So.
And if they got anything else to look forward to coming up, is there anything you got else coming up, or is it?
There's always things popping on my page. There's always things from dancing to music to working with young people. It's always the multidisciplines are there.
Okay, we're gonna follow your work to your next 100%, and we're gonna keep pushing you. Boom.